What drives a soldier when he's there deployed on the borders? In Siachen Glacier, where the temperature dips to minus 54, or in the Thar Desert, where the temperature rises to plus 51. I think it's the recognition of the countryman. It is the love of the countryman. And it is his self-pride. And that self-pride is actually fed by the love and the recognition of the countryman. And what better way to recognize the sacrifice of the soldiers than to have a special prayer and a special service for the entire defense fraternity and all the defense establishments. We are today what you people, the veterans, made us to be. And we are indeed thankful to each one of you. Army is like a family. The elders are always respected, they are revered, and they are honored. And I am so thankful when I see in this beautiful congregation large number of veterans and the elders. We are absolutely indebted to each one of you for your guidance, for your directions, and for your blessings, and for your teachings. Our country is protected by one of the most professional armies in the world, the Great Indian Army. We have a history of sacrifice, we have a history of service to this wonderful country. The country will not exist without this mighty Indian armed forces. Day in and day out, the soldiers stand guard, whether it is the Thar Desert or whether it is the Siachen. Jan Thamburaj mentioned about the dharma and the karma. I think this defines it beautifully. Dhriti, patience. I think patience is the most important thing and the most important virtue for a soldier. Kshama, forgiveness. Absolutely important. Dam. Dam is restraint. That means the flesh, what was mentioned today, so that one does not fall prey to the desires and to the desires of the flesh. I think that is dam, restraint. Asteyam. Asteyam is non-theft. But asteyam is a beautiful word. Theft is not when I take somebody which rightfully belongs to somebody else. That's not just theft. But if I use more than what I need and what I require, even that is theft. If I can fill my tummy in 3 pieces of bread or 3 chapatis, and if I take about 7 chapatis, that's a theft of 4. And if I can do well in 4 sets of clothes, and if I have 50 sets of clothes, I think that's also a theft. That's what asteyam is. I think today we all are also towards the process of exercising minimalism. I think that is what minimalism is. Use what is required, but do not overuse. I think today the issues in the world are because we are possibly, some of us are using much more than what we need and what we require. I think what we have in surplus, what we have in excess, has to be shared with everybody. So dhriti, shama, damostem, shaucham. Shaucham is cleanliness. Cleanliness of the mind and the cleanliness of the body. That is shaucham. Indriya nigrah. That is again having a control over your senses. I think that's absolutely, if you have control over your senses, you will have the ultimate power that will be bestowed on you. Dhir vidya satyam akrodho. Dhi is buddhi. Our manas, the mind, is chanchal, is something like a monkey mind. It doesn't sit idle. It will move from one branch to another. It will be up to some or the other pranks. But what restrains is discrimination. The discrimination is extremely important. So a man or a manas that has been restrained by buddhi, by the power of discrimination is buddhi. So it says that may the Lord bestows on us the buddhi. That is dhi. Dhir vidya. Vidya is knowledge. I think knowledge is absolutely paramount importance. Without knowledge, we will not be able to do well in every sphere of human endeavor. Satya, truth. Ultimately the truth prevails. Mahatma Gandhi, by just exercising one single virtue of the truth, standing and abiding by the truth, was able to deliver this wonderful country to freedom and akrodh, non-anger. So these are the 10 attributes, and this is what dharma is all about. And as far as karma is concerned, one of the ultimate book in our spiritual heritage is Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And it talks of that your thing is just to do the duty. And a lot of people say that what is the connect between the spirituality and the armed forces or the soldiering? And I say that this is the Mad Bhagavad Gita, because where was it delivered? It was delivered on a battlefield. To whom was it delivered? It was delivered to the commander-in-chief. Why was it delivered? Because he lost faith in the cause. And the Lord himself came and re-established that faith in the cause and asked him what a lot of people feel, that the spirituality is pacifist. But look here, the Lord himself says, pick up your Gandhi and fight. Fight for what? Fight for protecting the dharma. I think this is a beautiful combination of the dharma and the karma, what General Noble Thamburaj just mentioned. There are certain other attributes, and in the prayer that we have read this morning, all these have been, the mindfulness is most important. While the soldiers fight on the border, there is another important and most vital fight that goes on in our minds, in each of our mind. I think if we have been able to take care of that fight, I think balance, all the fights will fall in place. The fight in our mind is the most important thing. And I always tell everybody that spirituality is the most important thing. It's a science. Spirituality is a science to understand who am I. If I do not understand who am I, then how am I discharging any other function? First, I must understand myself. If I understand myself, then there is no obstacle. Then I can take a call. My mind is absolutely focused. And mindfulness is the most important thing. The mind of ours does not let us stay in the present moment. It takes us to the past or it takes us to the future. If it takes us to the past, there is regret. You always say, I could have done it better. And if it takes us to the future, how would I do it? There is anxiety. If it is past, it is regret. If it is future, it is anxiety. So there is stress in both the conditions. But if the mind is mindful, if you practice mindfulness, and if the mind stays in the present moment, there is no anxiety, and there is no regret, and there is no stress, and you will be able to harness the complete strength of the divinity. So mindfulness is something extremely important. Eckhart Tolle is one of the biggest proponents, and if you have time, please read his book, The Power of Now, a beautiful book, The Power of Now. Mindfulness is one of the most important prerequisites. Gratitude is the second important prerequisite. I am standing here and I am breathing. I think each breath I should be grateful to the Almighty, to the Lord, for bestowing on me this wonderful life, the human life. The human life, I think, is the greatest gift, because we have two great attributes. And these two great attributes, one is the power of cognition, and the second is the free will. Through the power of cognition and through the free will, anything and everything can be done. Nothing is insurmountable. So that's the most, why shouldn't we be thankful to the Almighty for giving us this beautiful gift of life? Every day in the morning, once we get up and we breathe, I think we should be thankful. We are here in this beautiful 156-year-old edifice, the temple of divinity, the temple of faith. I think we ought to be grateful. We ought to be grateful to our parents. We ought to be grateful to our country. We should be grateful to our brethren, to our family, to our teachers, to our instructors. There are thousands and thousands of things on which we should be grateful. Just practice gratitude for only 20 days and see the magic happening. The life would be absolutely magical. And the third important attribute is the positivity. There is no situation which is good or bad. Any situation is just a pure situation. Anything that we face today, and it's important for us to accept and to face the situation, not to label it as positive or negative. If you go back in your life and have a look at your life, you will find that all what we call today, or what we at that time we called as difficult situations, were actually the most profound things, because those difficult situations are the one what have shaped you today, what have chiseled you, what have made you in what you represent today. Acceptance is another very important attribute. Whatever may be happening in your life, just accept the situation. It's not that you become inert to it and you do not take any steps to take care of, but first accept. Acceptance is important because what has been given to you has been given by the divinity. So accept and then get on with what you ought to do. I know I have exceeded my time. They say the best gift you can give is the gift of time. So thank you, each one of you, for giving us and for giving the Indian Armed Forces the gift of your most invaluable time. Thank you. Take care. God bless.